Hey, how's it going? I'm Mystic Mia Moksha, and this is a spirit message reading. There are 4 piles here, and if you want to skip ahead, the timestamps are below in the description box. We have pile 1 here with the red calcite, pile 2 with the rubies, pile 3 with the amazonite, and pile 4 with the celestite. So you can pick the number or the crystal that resonates with you. You can pick more than one pile if you feel. What I normally do is, for example, if there's 4 piles here, I use a random number generator, and I would pick a number between 1 and 6. And if the universe picks one of the numbers 1 through 4, I use that pile. If it picks number 5, then I pick 2 piles or 3. And if I get like number 6, then I pick another reading, another spirit message reading from my playlist of spirit messages. And I just number all my spirit message readings on YouTube. And I just let spirit guide me through random number generators of what message is specifically for me at that time, or best resonates for me at that time. But, follow your heart. You've been guided to this reading. So if you're listening to this, there's a message in here for you. My readings are very highly spiritual. And it started off because I wanted messages for myself, and I wasn't finding the most highly spiritual readings out there. So I decided to create them for myself and for other highly spiritual people, or just people on the spiritual path that are looking for a more spiritual message at this time. And I hope you enjoy that reading. Much love and light. Hey, pile number 1. This is the red calcite. Your spirit message is poised. All right. With the 8 of Wands, rapid movement. So I'm getting from Spirit here that you're going to be moving very quickly and very elegantly. Kind of like every movement of yours is planned out in very exquisite detail, I'm getting. You're going to look very good doing it. This rapid movement into whatever your path is, it's a very clear path that's laid ahead of you now. Maybe you've had a bit of confusion, but you've been keeping your posture straight, I'm getting. Like through it all, even if in the beginning of your spiritual journey or whatever this journey is, your career, making a family, or getting married, or buying that perfect home, creating that perfect home, a business, whatever this like long journey has been. Maybe it's more than one of these things. Maybe it's your whole life in general. It feels like you've become very poised, very elegant in your movements. So even if you haven't reached that point of clarity where you can shoot for something straight now, like the path is cleared ahead of you, you just had to take the steps now. In the past, I'm getting year and a half, 6 months, you have been acting very poised in your steps forward, even though you couldn't see through the clearing. It was like a jungle, I'm getting. I mean, you're just with the machete, like chopping down the like wild amount of overgrown chaos of plants in front of you, and you're just kind of trying to make it through to the next like mile, but the thickness of vegetation in front of you is so dense, and you just can't see, and you just you might have started off that way, and it's still that way. There's still dense vegetation in front of you. You just got better at using your machete, you've just gotten better on being able to hear the river or something. But it's like, it's still been such dense like vegetation in front of you while you've been on this path. But now you walk up straight, your arms and biceps and triceps are, stronger, and you have this mental fortitude. You're so strong mentally and emotionally now because you've been out here in the jungle for years, and now finally the path is cleared ahead of you. Cleared. You have such clarity. You can see 100 miles away, 200 miles in front of you. And now you can very gracefully walk those steps there. It took you going through the jungle to straighten your posture, strengthen your arms and legs and your core, and, gain the mental fortitude you need for this kind of path. And it's a path that's that not many people take, or not many people can even envision taking. Okay, so a lot of pink cards. This is all about love, divine love connection, current love interest or current partner, and no contact. Very interesting. Spirit, what this is about. So there's something you've always believed in, and you weren't sure if it was ever going to happen. Wow, this is a very this has been a very long time coming. I mean, I think you even maybe like someone who is as spiritual and strong as you mentally and emotionally and spiritually, and now probably even physically, you might have even released attachment to this thing, whatever it is, whether it's a goal that you were very passionate about. So whether it's a romantic love or a kind of lifestyle or a kind of life, maybe you kind of romanticized a kind of life with a partner or a certain kind of career or a certain kind of community or certain kind of, I'm just getting, you just kind of had this like romantic idea of your future, whatever that is, whether it's your career, your passion project, maybe you're very artistic or musical or whatever. And it just seems like kind of fantastical because this is something probably a lot of people dream of, but it's kind of like a fairy tale. It doesn't usually happen. You're kind of in this physical reality and you're like, okay, I got to put away my childish things, my fantastical dreams, Maybe in the beginning of your spiritual awakening, you had a lot of ambitious goals that kind of seem like fantasy to you now, and you're kind of holding on to it. Like, I hope some version of this happens for me still, or happens for the world still. If you're a spiritual person, you're probably very like idealistic and utopian, have utopian ideas, but you released attachment to even this most fantastical dream that's not probably even the highest and best good for just to you. It's probably the highest and best good for all the people that you care about around you and the world at large. So there's something that you very much believed in and weren't sure if you're going to, you kind of, it's not like you lost faith or you lose hope. It's just kind of like you grow up. And in this case, you like grew up spiritually, like you matured spiritually, where you can like kind of interact with the spiritual realm and the physical realm more. And it's like kind of like when you first awaken, everything is kind of like rainbows and magical, and then you grow up and you kind of set into the reality of things. But the divine wants you to know, the source energy, the universe wants you to know, even though They may have not physically come to you. The connection is still there. And okay, we got several message cards here. Don't you dare dim your light. They're like, they want you to still hold that energy of that person that had uncapped visions for their life and their world. Didn't let the world bog them down, tell them no, said it's impossible, only in your dreams, maybe in 1,000 years. If you believe, if you build it, they will come. I'm kidding. Okay, give the situation space. So Spirit is just kind of like, yeah, this is a very difficult thing. In order to manifest something, you have to believe that it's there and then release the expectation of it actually happening, right? Wanting it and then, not really caring if it happens or not. Like, you're okay either way. That's okay. That's why Spirit is saying that you are being brought back to reality. So you're a very spiritual person and you're coming back to reality now. Okay, so I'm getting that all the things that you said you might not go back to or you may not do. You're not going to go back to sleep or something. You might be doing some of those things right now. Like, you said you're not going to play video games anymore because it distracts you. Like, it took too much of your time and energy. And that's something that you could use in your real life to get yourself ahead. You might be playing video games, If you said you weren't going to, eat meat again or drink alcohol again, you might be, indulging in some of these things, but not in an indulgent way, just in a kind of like a, hey, someone who loves me is making this for me, or I'm making this for myself, and it's healthy for me to balance my life this way and not be so strict anymore. You may be seeing people that you said you weren't going to see anymore, or the kinds of people you said you weren't going to see anymore, and it's just like, hey, I just want to see what my old friends are up to, or my family's up to, or what it's like to go to these kinds of events again, or something like that. So that's the kind of vibe I'm getting, like something that you said you weren't going to do now that you're a more spiritual awake person, or do less of, or you're kind of like spiritually evolved from. You might be doing some of these things again, and this is why, because Spirit wants you to take a little break from being like ultra spiritual, like super spiritual, to release attachment to all that grand kind of lifestyle that only someone like you can manifest. And it's not you reverting back to your old self. It's not you falling back either. It's just you taking a break from this ultra spiritual kind of path you've been on, or this very ultra concentrated, focused path that you are on whatever this is, relationship, marriage, family, career, passion project, creative project, business, home project, whatever it is, something like big, right? It's a big thing that you've been manifesting for a lot of your life. Yeah, I need a break, but I want to see from Spirit, like, how long a break? Multiple cycles of what? Multiple cycles of what? The path you wouldn't have taken. Okay, So Spirit wants you to kind of, okay, so you might have been having dreams of kind of things that you wanted to do in this lifetime but probably aren't going to do in this lifetime. Kind of cutting away other paths, other like life options. But some of them you're actually going to experience right now. Why? Like something, like a lifestyle that you're not going to do, but we're close to. No, I'm getting the lifestyle you would have had if you weren't spiritually awakened. Oh my goodness. So you're going to have like a few cycles of like different paths your life could have taken if you weren't spiritually awakened. So like Spirit can show you why you did what you did. It's kind of like a grand reveal. It's like the ghost of Christmas past showing you like, oh, like the ghost of Christmas future, I guess in this case, like what your life could have looked like right now, what your life could have looked like in the recent past, now, and in the near future, and you're kind of gonna get the hint of like what your path, like what a few paths could have been like for you, your life could have been like if you weren't spiritually awakened. Oh my goodness, it's so cool. Yeah, what you like avoided. It's kind of like you went through like, the thick of it. But like Spirit is going to say like what the kind of lifestyles, the kind of life that you kind of avoided. Like you almost got into like I'm not even saying it's like all that bad or something. It's just like how magnificent your path actually is and how like much it's leveled up from like the normal life, like your average Joe. Like nothing against that, and you're probably gonna realize this lifestyle is like very comfortable because you have to challenge yourself to get outside of your comfort zone in order to have this kind of life that you're pursuing now, that you basically have manifested. It's here now. But it's just kind of like a reminder. It's like a visual show. I am getting kind of like Ghost of Christmas past, present, and future kind of thing. Like different paths. Spirit wants to show you what your life would look like had you like not done some of the difficult things that you've done. So I think you're gonna see like what your life would have looked like if you continue on this path, and then maybe like a couple other like hadn't ever gone to anything like spiritual or anything like in the focused, or when I say spiritual, I mean like also like something that you're passionate about, like that your soul resonates with. If you didn't follow that path, what would have if you didn't have that passion at all, what would your life look like? And then some of the few big challenges that you've done in your life, like if you hadn't gone through those challenges and like learned from them and healed them and achieved masteries, like leveled up in your mastery, because of that pivotal moment in your life, like kind of where your life would look like if you, after that one challenge, after that second challenge, after that third challenge, or whatever. Like it's like a few, it's a multiple cycle. So yeah, after that first big challenge, your life might have improved or might have changed a little bit. But then you had that second pivotal moment, or you had that third awakening, or that other experience. And like, the spirits kind of want to show you, like, kind of like why all these big things that happen in your life, what they were for. Nothing is written in stone. Spirit is giving you the option. It's like, okay, you can stay here or you can move forward. I'm getting kind of that like vibe. Do you know how when you're I'm getting, this is the Office reference, but like when Michael wants to marry, Holly, when Michael wants to marry Holly, he like kind of walks her down a path where there's people on both sides, and like all the guys, or at least three guys, ask her like, "Oh, Holly, will you marry me?" And she says no. It's kind of like her trial. Before Michael asks her to marry him. That's what I'm kind of getting. This is kind of like your trial. Like, do you want this life? You know? And I think it's like sweet, you know? Like it's nothing against these kind of life paths that you could have taken. And you still have the choice. You have free will in this lifetime as a human. So you can still choose these paths, but it's most likely you're gonna have an easy answer, and that answer is probably gonna be no. Let's see, a couple more cards. I lie awake thinking about our future. So I do feel like you may be going through an intense time of planning right now. You might not know it, but you are, whether you know it or not, whether you're consciously aware of it or not, right now you are planning out the details of this bigger life path. And Spirit is helping you by putting these paths that you could have potentially had, so you can see what you want, what you don't want. My goodness. I've been manifesting our connection. So if you aren't currently with someone that you're very deeply connected to, so in a soulmate kind of connection, a high level soulmate connection, you will be. You're manifesting this connection, or they're manifesting you, both of you. But you're also manifesting this lifestyle with the divine through these paths. These other paths that come through, that you get to be like, oh, I kind of saw my life going a different way, or, oh yeah, I like these things in my past, but I'm not sure this is something I want to, have in my daily life. Maybe this isn't the kind of life that I want, or this is the kind of life that I want. That you're co-creating with Spirit very intensely right now, which is why these other paths that you could have almost gone on are kind of like not trials and tribulations, but kind of like showing you the kind of life you could have had. Pick up the things you like, pick up the things that are necessary, that you want to bring with you, leave the rest, and you'll feel fine leaving the rest, because you're on this like higher and better path. It's like very intensely beautiful. Okay, any last message from Spirit? Yeah, Death card. This is kind of a huge time. This is a really intense time where you're going to be experiencing a lot of changes. Letting go of a lot of things, letting go of a lot of ideas, changing a lot of things. Seven of Cups, making a lot of decisions. Seven of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. King of Pentacles, sorry. I said 9. So like a lot of abundance still coming in. You're the king of this household now. You're the queen of this household. You're the queen of your life. You're the king of your life. You have all the pieces now, and you get to decide what you want to keep, what you want to release, and what you want to bring more in of, So you're kind of clearing out your life, keeping the things that you want in order to be able to bring in more things that you want. You're doing a little bit of like a house cleaning for your life. But I do feel like there is something, like you are going to be bringing the things that are the most important, right? You're just going through this intense change that you definitely will probably like that is in your life. Like you'll probably really like the idea of this new life coming through. So you'll easily be able to let things go, but you're bringing the most important things with you. Maybe it's people, maybe it's furniture, your car, certain habits or routines that you like, and letting the rest go. And you have no, I feel like, let me see how you feel about this. Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of King of Pentacles. Yeah, I do feel like there's a chance that like you're in this with a partner, or you're in this with your family, if you have family with your partner. But you're like in it with your partner. Like you're doing divine work with your partner. Queen of Pentacles in this deck. Struggles before gains. Yeah, so it's just kind of, why is it, what are the struggles? What are the struggles? The Hanged Man, yeah. Okay, so this has been coming up a lot. Okay, so in this deck, the Hanged Man. What? Oops. Suspension of movement. Yeah. It's just kind of like there's like this thing where spirit adds in time, and it seems, even though like the days are moving forward and the months and the years, like if it'll feel like your life is like the same sometimes for like months or years, because spirit is like doing something that doesn't matter, like the time doesn't matter. There's a lot of things like where spirit is like doing things, and it doesn't matter if you finish when you're 15 or 55, you will get the time, you'll get all the time in the world to figure out what you need to figure out. Like do the spiritual lesson or do the spiritual work that you need to do. It's up to you if you figure it out sooner or later, you know? So like right now, if I feel like things are slow or like nothing's really changing, or I kind of get this thing of like you're in a bubble, or you and your partner are in a bubble, or you and your family are in a bubble, and like you're not being affected by anything around you. It's just like you have to figure out your life path with, you know, the people that are involved. And so it might feel like even though you want to get things going, you can't until you figure out the details. Like, you know, until you figure out exactly what you want and what it looks like. Because the spirit can't give it to you unless you figure that out. And you are manifesting a very big, beautiful path. So, like, it's like the spirit wants to give you this big, beautiful life. But if you don't know what that is, you deserve it, spirit's saying. You did the work. But if you don't know what that is, if you don't know what the big, beautiful, awesome life that you're manifesting, it looks like, even like a little bit, or you don't figure out like the gist of it, like the important things, then how can spirit bring it to you? So that's why it might feel stuck, and it might take, I don't know, however long it takes you to figure it out. You did the work, so it's here. You just have, the last thing you have to do is just figure out what it looks like, what this life looks like. Okay, see, like my things are, my time cards are stuck. 26. You know, it could be a month, or it could be 26 years. It's really up to you. It's really up to you. That's what I'm getting. It could be a month. It could be 26 years. As soon as you figure out what your life looks like, and the most beautiful details, and just sit with your partner, or sit by yourself, or have your partner think about things too. Just, you know, prompt them with some questions. Oh, what does your daily life in the future look like? Or, You know, what kind of home do you want to live in, or what kind of career would you like, or how would you, you know, where do you think you want to end up in your career, or what some of the passion projects you want to work on, or just your most wildest, craziest, beautiful visions. Bring that to life, and then Spirit will bring it to you. All right, I hope you enjoyed that reading. Much love and light. Hey, pile number 2. This is the ruby encased in granite. See Spirit's message for you. Serendipity. All right. Something very fortunate, I'm getting. Very fortunate and like very straightforward, I'm getting. Something is coming through in your lifetime. In your life right now. That because I said lifetime, might feel like a once in a lifetime kind of thing, or you've been waiting a lifetime for this, or feels like you've been waiting a lifetime for this. And it feels very lucky, very like a very positive omen for things to come. Like it just sets off the rest of this, like, you know, the next chapter of your life very, very positively. Cards came up. Okay, 9 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands, and the 7 of Swords. Okay, so in this deck, the 9 of Pentacles is material well-being. Yes, I definitely do see some abundance coming through. Like, I feel like, you know, when you kind of were dreaming and hoping for, like, what would it be like if I had the money for this, or so much money that I didn't have to work, or, you know, a new home so I don't have to deal with repairs, or, you know, a new car so I don't have to deal with breakdowns, or having to travel with a bus or a train or with someone else, or, you know, we're down to one car, or if we lived in a home instead of an apartment, or if we could afford multiple homes and not have to, like, you know, so we can stay at different places and not have, not just have one home in one area of the country. If all the kids had their schooling paid off, or if just basically if you didn't have to worry about money or for finding a certain kind of home, or you know, worrying about if you have enough money for extra expenditures in your life, things that you don't actually need but would like, just being well off. I'm getting well off. So wherever kind of state you're in right now, if you're in a place that was where you feel like you are so well off that you don't have to worry about your material well-being. I try to keep in mind that I could be reading for someone who is, you know, going to work on a bus every day, or, like, you know, living with multiple roommates in a small apartment in the city that's, like, not very ideal, very noisy, and feel like they are doing well in life. And then I could also be talking to someone who has, you know, a very nice home, and maybe even have multiple cars, even multiple other kind of, like, boats and whatnot, and, you know, feels that they like to have more to be well off. I'm aware that I'm talking to a wide range of people here. So whatever it feels like that where you feel like you're well off, where you feel like, you know, stressed about having enough. Because even people who are actually well off can sometimes feel like they don't have enough. Okay, 6 of Wands. And this deck is success after struggle. Yeah, so this is, so, you know, whatever your financial situation, I feel like you might have been feeling like struggles. And yeah, even people who have money feels like they're in struggle, you know. It feels like, you know, it's kind of like this thing. It's like I have some family members that are like, are more well off, and then some family members who are even more well off than them, and some family members who are not so well off. And it's just like every time you like kind of just level up on your financial status, it just feels like you have even more responsibilities and even more things you need to do, right, and take care of. So it's like, so wherever you are in life, it's like just being free from feeling like you're always struggling, no matter how much you make or no matter what, your income level is or what kind of house you live in. That's the freedom that you were looking for, and that's the freedom that you get. Success. And the Seven of Swords is mind games, because this is all in your mind. Like, I feel like like you just want to be free from these like issues always popping up. And I'm getting these issues always popping up and related to your financial life or your material life, your physical life. But it was always mental, and as soon as like you get some sort of good luck that frees you from this mental anguish, which then like stops manifesting. These issues keep popping up in your financial, material, and physical life. What is this? Abundance. Yeah, wow. Abundance mindset I'm getting. You adopt an abundance mindset because of this situation that happens. And I want to look into what that situation is. Okay. A fling. Okay. A fling. Soul family and friends. Many friends. Okay, so yeah, there could be a fling, but I'm getting like just like a bunch of people come in as abundance. Your abundance starts with these like soul family and friends that come in, and there's a lot of them. These people just get you. They've been where you are. They had similar experiences to you, or can at least understand the experiences that you had. They're like-minded people. They have similar goals to you, and they might even be a step or 2 or 10 ahead of you in the life that you want to create. They may already have this abundance mindset, and so you may be able to adopt this abundance mindset just being around these people. You kind of pick up the tricks, figure out how to do it, and then you get it. And so that's what happens. Wow. Like, do I need to clarify that? I'm reading done. That's the easy pile. Look at life with fresh eyes. Yeah, so I feel like there's a kind of like it's not an ego death, but definitely like it's not an awakening, because I feel like this group, like, you've already had your spiritual awakening, you've already had your ego deaths to get to where you are now. What this is finally adopting the abundance mindset, because you probably have throughout your spiritual journey so far had that abundance life mindset. Oh yeah, I'm so grateful for the things I have. I'm so grateful for the people in my life. I'm so grateful for the opportunities coming into my life right now, the opportunities that I've already had. All these kinds of things. And then, you quickly lose it, right? And it's hard to kind of stay in there. Especially when you feel like you've lost the magic in your life, or you've lost that kind of, you kind of lose the flow. You kind of like accidentally fall outside of that abundance mindset. And that's why it always felt like, oh, all these like things are popping up, all these like money issues or material issues, not having enough, or not having the right things, or not being able to get the things that you need, or not having the right resources for this other thing, for your business, or for your family, or for your long-term goals or something like that. So like it's like always feeling like, oh, I don't have it, or I can't get it, or I'm never going to be able to get it, or it's just out of reach, or maybe it's too good for me, or I wasn't even ever supposed to have it. And all these things kind of just like find its way back in when you had the abundance lifestyle, or mindset. Miracles happen in every moment. And this is what this reminds me of, this serendipity card, like this like miracle. So I feel like this like kind of situation that comes in where you're just kind of flooded with people who have this abundance lifestyle, abundance mindset, and kind of like exemplify the kind of life you want to live, or the kind of career that you want to have, or the kind of family life you want to have, or the kind of social life, or the spiritual life, or whatever it is. The kind of it kind of like given this miracle, and it feels like that these people, they feel like your soul family, and there's so many of them that just kind of come in. And I want to clarify this fling thing. What do you mean by fling? Is this temporary, or someone that just comes in for a short period of time? The Hermit. Hit this card, so I want to look. Be mindful of your thoughts. Okay, so Spirit is saying here, they put fling here because it's like they come in, it's like a miracle. Whoa, how did I meet all these people that I resonate so deeply with, that kind of exemplify what I want to be, or the kind of life I want to live? How do they like come and go so quickly? They come in and then they kind of leave you alone. And Spirit is saying because like you need to practice that abundance lifestyle, the abundance mindset, and bring things in for your own life. And then only then can you, like after you practice it on your own and get like kind of mastered it, or like, you know, master the skill enough that you can kind of manifest with other people while they come back. So it's kind of like they come in and then you might be kind of feel like, where do they go? And it's because you were meant to kind of adopt the skills that they gave you, learn it, bring it in, and practice it, do it. Okay, so then what is next? You are divinely supported. This is Spirit showing you that like we have your back. You're so close to the finish line that we're bringing in, you know, all the resources. At this point, like Spirit really wants you to live in abundance. You deserve it. Maybe you asked for it, that you want to have this kind of experience in this lifetime. And you've definitely done enough inner work for this. That Spirit's kind of showing you now, like, okay, like you're ready for this kind of abundant life. You're going to be really respectful of your abundance life. You're going to be respectful of others. And you kind of like will do good things with your abundant life. You know, it's like you're a seasoned person, you're a practiced person, you're an experienced person. So that's why they're bringing in this for you. But there's still things that you need to figure out, like how to be, like you're going to be a master manifestor, bringing in all these things, and you're going to have to practice it on your own. So you're going to meet all these people for a little bit. It's going to be a great time. Be awesome. They're going to show you how to manifest. You're going to be manifesting with them, but then you're going to be on your own, so you can learn how to manifest by yourself before you manifest with other people again in groups. That's very, you have to be like very mindful of your thoughts in order to do that. Okay. Is there any like kind of time frame on when this comes in? Dusk. So as soon as like tonight, tomorrow night, I'm getting a fortnight. So soon, very soon. I mean, it could even start as soon as tonight. So funny because it's actually dusk right now while I'm recording this reading. Okay, anything else, Spirit, that you want to mention? I think this reading was kind of straightforward. The message here was kind of straightforward. I'm done running from this connection. Yeah, I think there was this kind of fear of having this very abundant life, and it sounds kind of weird, but if you're very spiritual person, or you've achieved a lot of self-mastery, you understand that like having fear of success is a real thing. Having fear of what to do when you have a lot of abundance, how it's going to change things in your life. Change is scary, even if it's very positive. So that's a real thing that you might have been dealing with in the recent past, anywhere from 6 months, a year and a half ago, where you were just dealing with the fear of success and achievement and abundance and material, physical, and monetary wealth. Okay, so anything else Spirit wants to bring in? Do you even care? Spirit wants to know, like, that you're still in this. Like, it came out in reverse. It's like you still very much care to have this kind of lifestyle. Otherwise, you wouldn't have kept feeding this manifestation, this vision, and backing it up with action. Like, I feel like you're the kind of person who, like, if you had an idea, you took action on it. And most people don't, take action on what their heart is saying to them. And you keep doing it, even when you don't see, like, big miracles happen, right? But watch this miracle happen, Spirit is saying. Watch this miracle happen. All right, I'm just going to leave that here. I wish you so much love and light. Hey, pile number 3. This is the Amazonite. Let's see your spirit message. New life. Okay, wow. New lease on life is what I'm hearing. Okay, we see the 3, 2 3s and a 9. Okay. Queen of Cups. I feel like you're going to be emotionally revived. The Queen of Cups in this deck is strong psychic feelings. There's this kind of feeling of like being vindicated. Like, yeah, I was right this whole time kind of thing. Maybe you're very psychic, or maybe you're very intuitive, very creative. You can like see things before they happen, or you're very like, you're a trendsetter. You can predict trends. Maybe you're very logical. You can come to a very logical conclusion, and usually you're right. Or maybe you're right and analytical, and you can put things together, connect different data, and come up with things that people would have not really thought of. Or maybe you're a very good researcher, and you can see, excuse my language here, but you can see through the bullshit. You can see when people are lying, or you can see when information doesn't add up. So the combination of both, and very analytical mind and a very intuitive mind. A combination of these things, which kind of makes you seem a little bit psychic sometimes, or very like supernatural, to other people, or to some people. And this is just gonna get stronger. This is just gonna like amplify tenfold. So there's that. But there's a feeling of like, yeah, I knew that there's something about me, or I knew there was something about this situation, or I knew, like, there's something about, like, you're right about something, and then like it amplifies. No need to worry. Okay. So I'm getting that, like, you may have been, like, feeling very worried about how long you can take this. Maybe this is something you've held on to yourself, or only a few of your friends or family members know about you, or this particular situation, or there's some sort of concern around you or the situation, and you don't know how it's going to go. You're kind of doubting yourself. Sometimes even doubting if you're doing the right thing, if you've been doing the right thing, if this is the right thing to do, or if you should leave it alone, or if you should, move on. Something like that. This could be in terms of your spiritual path, your spiritual abilities, some kind of truth or information that you have, some sort of mental, emotional health situation. Or I don't want to say this in a way that kind of or something that people thought you might be crazy about, crazy for thinking, crazy for believing, or something like that. Okay, let's see. Wealth. Wow. Okay. Like, Spirit, are you going to give me more information? What is this about? Wealth of, oh my goodness. Wealth of abilities, wealth of psychic information. I'm getting, like, you're getting the hookup. Like, you might have access, like, very straight access to the Akashic records or to your spirit guides. It might be something like you're granted access to your spirit guides, where it's like you can actually talk to them or actually see them. Your mediumship abilities might be like where you can actually see them in front of you. It's easier to see things. Maybe you get the ability to kind of visualize things in a 3D way, like it's kind of like using your brain in a way that helps you. It's like a superhuman ability. You're given, like, it's like something, an ability comes online, and this ability is so, like, I can't even describe it. It's so fascinating. But it's like either you can, like, build and tinker with actual 3D models in your brain or in front of you, as if it's like right in front of you, like turn it around and look inside, and like, I don't know, it's kind of like, like the future technology that they have in movies, like being able to do those kinds of things, but without the technology. Like, it's just your brain. And like, because you are able to turn on an ability, like spirit turned on an ability for you. That is insane. And I got like, there's this thing where you can like, if you practice lucid dreaming, you can bring in like your higher self, and like you can talk to your higher self and ask them all these questions. It's like talking to your super subconscious mind, and be aware of it while you're talking to your super subconscious mind. You can ask them like, oh, why do I have these fears, or what is my motivations in life, like what really happened with this relationship, or how do I, get a lot of money with the skill sets I have, how do I, like you can ask your higher self all these questions. Like I feel like some of you are going to get that kind of ability where you can like literally just talk to your higher self as if they're right in front of you. Another one I'm getting is like, you can see how things are connected. Like I see this like kind of like energy wave, and they're different colors, and they'll like come around different like items. So like different items will have, or different locations or different people have like, it's kind of like auras, but like the different colors relate to different objects depending on like the color. Like certain colors could mean like this was like made around the same time. Certain colors could mean like these objects are related, this person, this place, this thing. And like you have to like learn to read it, but you're probably going to be able to read like the history of items, and the connections of people, different people, and like things like that. Oh my, I just went on a journey right there. What was that? Okay. I do think about the future, and when I do, I think about you in it. So Spirit here is saying that, like, I feel this is more your higher self. This is your higher self communicating to you at this time. I need more context. I can tell you don't trust me. I want to change that. Okay, so there was kind of like this, like, yeah, because this whole like vindication thing is kind of like, not like that you're losing faith, but you're losing faith in the magic and the miracle of what you can do already psychically and spiritually. You may be able to read signs and synchronicities. You may be able to connect to your higher self and other spirit guides, maybe extraterrestrial beings, or the elementals, mystical beings and animals, or different energies, passed over loved ones, or animal spirits, whatever. You might be able to connect with a lot of different things. You might have incredible manifestation powers, or incredible empathic powers, healing powers, ability to predict things, really dive deep into your subconscious mind and to others. What the list goes on, right? But I feel like you might have felt like there was like a limit, like you've been kind of like stuck at this like door, and you weren't allowed to like go beyond. And it's not that you're scared. I feel like you're not scared. I mean, if you're watching this reading, you're already kind of very very spiritual and psychic. So there's no, like, you don't have that fear of, going to the limitless beyond, right? Why have you been prevented from moving past these things in the past? You haven't. It's just your boat has finally arrived. So it's really interesting because the Six of Swords is diving deep, very deep into your subconscious mind, deep into your emotions, deep into your soul. What was stopping it before? What was stopping this before? Structures, I'm getting structures around you. There are your physical limitations. Your physical limitations are preventing your spiritual, your body. But not just your body, your physical cage, I'm getting. Let me clarify again. Take that leap. I'm getting the physical world in which we live in had some, it's like code, right? Like a program, the physical world we live in. It was like someone wrote in a code somewhere in this program to limit humanity's psychic abilities. Or so you thought. What's opening this door for you? What's opening this door for you? I can't even look at you right now. Judgment card. It's coming together. I just need to. This is a very big message. Because I always have so many big messages. Health. I got community. I got, electronics and all sorts of things, but ultimately it's health. Take that leap. Accepting your physical life. Being okay with your physical boundaries. As spiritual people, we probably have been fighting these spiritual boundaries. These physical boundaries all our life. But we need to take that leap. And how so? Don't you dare dim your light. What's the action here, Spirit? What's the action here? Compromise. Meaning that I can't even look at you right now. Accepting your physical body, accepting your life as it is right now, accepting the world as it is right now. I feel like a lot of people have been kind of fighting the system, fighting the way life is right now so much, and even unintentionally, subconsciously. If you just for a moment accept things the way they are, as they are right now, accept the way that things are as they are right now, accept the way you are as you are right now. It all is for a reason. What do you want? Ace of Swords. Communicate what you want. And then this will begin. This door will be the 5, 4, and 1 equals a 10, and then the door will be open. This is crazy. A lot of energy coming in. A lot of energy coming in. Sunset. I feel like there's a lot of things coming to a close. There's a lot of energy coming in right now. Recorded this during the full moon lunar eclipse. Sunset. I'm getting a sunset is kind of like a sunset on this reality. Speak your life, speak your reality into existence. I'm getting some wild things right now, so I'm just gonna confirm. 9 of Pentacles. So it's interesting because in the other the pile, we're talking about how you need to kind of in detail co-create with your guides your highest and best life, but you need to figure out what that is and be able to say it, write it, speak it in order for it to manifest. But here I'm getting, imagine a world that isn't this physical world. Imagine the spiritual universe, what that looks like, and we will open the doorway for you to see it. This is out of this world, literally. Magician. And all these cards coming out in reverse means like this is happening now, this is happening now, this is happening now. Sunset. By today, sunset. By tomorrow, sunset. By the end of the year, by the end of the month, whatever. As soon as you could do the other thing, which is manifesting a physical life here, or you can do this thing, or you can do both. And this is visualizing the spiritual world and what that looks like, and then you'll be given access to more psychic abilities here. Visualize the kind of, okay, that's what I'm getting. So they want to be able to give you more information. They want you to be able to be more psychic, be able to, turn on a lot of your other psychic and spiritual abilities. But in order to do that, they need a system in which to funnel that information to you, one that makes sense to you, one that is easy for you to visualize. And as we know, in the higher realms, it kind of, for example, the mental realm is just whatever, the 4D realm is whatever you just think, right? It just manifests. So if you think of a demon, you manifest a demon. If you think of a beautiful beach, you manifest a beautiful beach. It's kind of based on your mental plane, your line of thought is what manifests, and manifests really instantly. But they want to bring you into the higher 5D and higher realms. And so in order for them to do that, these realms that are just a collection of all of our souls' vision of that world. It's not just a vision, it's a feeling, it's a idea. So if you can have an idea of what the spiritual world is like and how you interact, what happens in that spiritual world, and they can give you more access. And that's what I'm getting here. Wow. Any advice for this group? Any advice for this group? That's kind of challenging to like decipher, but I got there. High Priest. Wow. Spiritual advice. Literally, in this deck, the High Priest is spiritual advice. I'm like, any advice? Spirit, spiritual advice. I'm getting like, you are the spiritual advice. Like, what does that spiritual advice look like to you? You're so connected that you can just... You are the advice that you need. Oh my God. That is so weird. Tell us what kind of advice you want, how you want to receive it, and we'll give it to you because you're that strong, that you're that powerfully connected. And how to get here quicker, I guess. 2 of Swords and 4 of Cups. Okay, 2 of Swords. This deck is Stalemate, and 4 of Cups is Emotionally Withdrawn, but it was in reverse. So you're going to be at this door for more until you emotionally invest in this, want it, desire it, feel it, want to be in the higher realms. Desire to be in the higher realms. You're already at the door. They want to let you in. The only thing is you need to do is be able to visualize it, have an idea of what it looks like, have an idea of how you can interact in this world, be in this world, how your soul interacts in that world while you're here in the physical world. And you'll manifest it. How? You just have to say you want it. And you just have to back it up with proof that you actually want it. However that looks to you. Okay. This kind of like spun off the table. They're working with you. And it's ready to come in like this second. This second, if you want to. Just say the word. Just feel it. Just really want it. And that's it. I hope that helped. Pile number 3. Much love and light. Hey, pile number 4. This is the Celestite. Let's see what your spirit message is. Time to go. All right. Yeah, spirit wants you to go. Move on to the next chapter, next leg of your life, leg of your journey. 2 of Wands and the 5 of Cups. In this deck, the 2 of Wands, be careful what you ask for, and 5 of Cups is emotional loss. So there's like, it's like a bittersweet. I feel like you have to move on to the next part of your life, but not everyone is coming with you from this part of your life. And although that might seem sad, let's see, Spirit. Trust that it's for your highest and best good. Trust that it's what you've wanted, what you've been wanting, what you've asked for, it's for your highest and best good. It just might not seem like it in the moment because it's like something that you've always wanted to do, something you've always like dreamt of that you'd be able to do in this lifetime. And then when the moment comes, it's like the only thing, like you might have released attachment to your home or released attachment to material things, money, recognition, anything, right? All these ideas and things and beliefs, but people, right? That's what this lifetime is about. That's what mankind's lifetime is about, is the connections you make with others. That leaving that behind, even if you've released attachment to a lot of people, when it comes time to actually leave through that door, leave on that plane, leave on that boat, leave, and with the possibility of not seeing them again, that's when it gets real, right? And then that fear will pop up again. So that's what Spirit wants you to know. It's like, yes, you've worked on this. You've had many, 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 many cycles of releasing people, places, and things that you care about. You've had practice. And this is where it counts, when you actually have to do the thing. This is, you prepared all your life, or you prepared many cycles for this. Trust that you can do this. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. This is a wish granted. This is a beautiful love opportunity coming to you. So even though you feel like you're emotionally losing something you cared for, something you love, something that you have to cut out of your life, or something along those lines, it is very quickly met with abundance in things that you emotionally resonate with, that things that you will quickly learn to love or know that you always wanted. It's just emotionally fulfilling. Abundance of emotion quickly fills in the kind of hole you have from releasing these emotional things that weren't coming with you, and you knew it. Okay, what are some of these things? What are some of these things? Many friends. Soulmate. Okay. Oof, that's tough. Many friends who feel like soulmates. Okay, so this is something that I've been seeing. I saw once in a reading, maybe 6 months ago or something, where you may have at this point in your life found a lot of soulmate level friends and people you connect with, maybe even soulmate family members, soulmate partners, relationship partners, but basically you just have a lot of friends that are on your level, soulmate level, right? It's because you've been very spiritual all your life. You've been doing a lot of inner work, so you've brought in a lot of people who resonate with you on a deeper level. And that's going to be tough because you love and care for these people. You have a soul connection with these people, but you're on your way to meet even deeper soul connections, even higher level soul connections. So it's going to be tough when some of these friends that you've been on a decent part of your spiritual journey with, whether it's been a long time or a short time, you just, when you're with a soulmate, it feels like you've known each other forever, right? It's going to be very sorrowful to have to, move on from that, right? Oh, man. Okay. Anything you have to say about that, Spirit? I know we're being spiritually guided. So you're being spiritually guided to take these kinds of actions. And you know you're on the highest and best path. You know this is the right thing to do. You will understand it. Even some of your soulmate friends will understand it. Like, okay, you're moving on to this next level. They get it, you get it. It's mutual understanding. It just still sucks sometimes, you know? And I feel like you haven't had like a departing of this level in your life ever or often. So, I mean, this is a very significant event in your life. I'm feeling the consequences of my choices and actions. So it's like, this comes with this kind of life, right? You're living your highest and best life. You're being surrounded by your highest and best soul family members, soulmate, and soul missions. So this comes part of the territory. You know, you have to move on to bigger and better things. But there's nothing wrong with like what you're leaving behind, right? And that's what's the toughest part. There's a lot of good times there, a lot of comfortability. Maybe these are people that you've awakened with, or could discuss spiritual things with, or discuss your passion projects with, or helped you and worked alongside with you on these projects, and so on and so forth. So you're feeling it, you know. You're maybe very highly spiritual, but you're still a person. Okay. Spirit's advice here. Okay, couple cards. Live from a place of light. Know that you're doing what's highest and best for you, and that will ultimately be the highest and best for everyone around you as well. And you know this. You can come back and help these people, or be friends with these people, or enjoy these people's company as this new version of yourself, or in this new life, or in this new soul mission, or whatever. It's not going to be good for you and not going to be good for them if you're trying to evolve into this next place and they're not ready to evolve yet. It's going to cause some clashes, some friction between the two of you. It might not be that way right away, but like you probably have already been feeling it with some of your, you know, soul family, soul friends. But it's not like all of them aren't going to go to the higher level. I just think most of them are not ready for it, at least yet. Believe in the impossible. It's because you believe in the possible that you're ready for this. I feel like your creative abilities, your spiritual abilities are limitless at this point, because you've opened yourself up. You opened up your mind and your soul to the endless possibilities of this lifetime. And that's why you've already graduated, and you're now like getting your first job, you know? You're getting your first big soul mission from Spirit. And this is like a coming of age kind of milestone where you've evolved spiritually enough to kind of do bigger work out there. Some things that people still might believe are impossible, you're going to show them it's not, right? Wow. Yep, this is some intense readings. Okay. Think before you act. I'm getting, because it's in reverse, like you've already thought about this a lot. If this is your reading, you've already known this is coming. You probably have had many readings or many clues and signs that this is coming. Because you've been prepared. So we're making sure that you were prepared. They're not going to bring in a soldier that wasn't prepared, that isn't properly trained, you know. You have been trained. You're like warrior. What do you want? This card keeps coming up and it keeps confusing me. You still have free will. Even when you're trained, even when you have the door right in front of you and spirit has it open, you still have that choice to stay behind and, you know, be with your friends and live in the life that you do now. You still given the option. What is the challenge here? Because I feel like you might be given a challenge since this is very... Knight of Wands. I mean, this is going to be a very quick decision for you. I mean, obviously, you've known for a long time this is coming and this is what you're going to be doing. Wow, the Sun card. I mean, this is a very positive card. This is it. This is the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, right? You're going to take it. It's very obvious. In the moment, you're like, yeah, duh, I'm going to take it. Bye, friends. You know. Just going to get a time frame. Okay. So more than a few years came out in reverse and like in front of like the first card. So this is something that's going to last more than a few years. Like you might not see these friends or these things that you love for more than a few years. That's wow, Sunset's the second time that card came out. This can start as soon as today, tomorrow, and then the month and the year. And how will you know when this opportunity comes in? Oh, you'll know. When it rains, it pours. It will come raining in. Abundance of opportunity. This is like night and day kind of change, right? I saw 9 of Cups. Oh, and the Magician. I saw the 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups and the Knight of Cups also. Confirmation from Spirit. You'll know. You'll be feeling good. I mean, you'll be sitting pretty. Yeah, it's going to be deep dive. You're going to be traveling. You're going to be moving. You're going to be physically moving. It's an opportunity for a complete overhaul of your life. It's a complete change, you know? Night and day. Like you're poor to like being filthy rich kind of thing, right? Night and day opportunity. And coming as soon as tomorrow. That's something that's going to last a few years. I'm going to get a more realistic time frame. Realistic time frame. Now. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoy this reading. Much love and light.